Alright, here we are with another What Sold video. We are in the shed and we have $724.83 in sales in a day and a half, and it's a little slower than last week. 148.25 of those sales were Nifty offers in relists. So again, if you're not cross-listing and you need a cross-listing platform that uses generative AI, Nifty.ai, I'll put the link here. Feel free to subscribe with our code RocketCity, and it will save you $15 off your first month. So there's that. And also, if you're not liking subscribing, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm push these videos to people that might want to do this and make $724 in a day. So let's see what sold here. We're going to be looking at bin 40. So it was a Yotoy corduroy teddy bear, storybook plush, sold for $37. Took about 6+ months, and we'll be back with that. Okay, we are back. That's what the tag looks like. I might even be pronouncing this. It's either Yotoy or Yachty, and I think it's Yotoy. But anyways, here's the corduroy bear, Golden Book series, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it is in fact corduroy. This little guy sold for $40 and sold in about 6+ months, and I believe sold on eBay. Let's make sure. Nope, Etsy. So yeah, there he is. Okay, so this next plush sold on Poshmark and took 6+ months. Sold for $17, and I want to say nope, it wasn't Nifty this time, but here it is, Carter's. And we're going to start moving away from this type of plush because it just takes too long, except for the TOIs. We're going to keep on pulling those because those sell like hotcakes. But stuff like Lovies, we're going to start bringing all this to Whatnot. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, it's a live auction platform where you can get a great deal at a great price. You can get your item that you're looking for at a great price. So check out Whatnot. I'll go ahead and put the link here. And you can also get $15 off your first purchase. You don't have to do that with our store, Rocket City, but you could use it anywhere on Whatnot. So again, the link's here, and we appreciate you. On to the next one. We're looking for, the next one is going to be a monkeys sock monkey. Believe it or not, we sell a lot of sock monkeys. There's a market for it, and yeah, so we'll be right back with that. Okay, so really quick before we continue on, because transparency is everything, we actually screwed up on our spreadsheet. So we'll insert fail here, and the sock monkey actually sold for $16.86, and yeah, so our number is off by just a bit, probably about $30. So I believe I said it was 7. Let me just double check. So about $700 in a day. Still not bad. So we just want to be clear that it sold for $16.86, and we'll show you what it looks like in just a sec. Okay, so here he is in all his glory. He's new tag. His name is Georgie. Sock monkey sold for $16.86. Would I pick it up again? Maybe, because it's new tag. But again, like I just mentioned, we have a lot of this type of plush in here besides TY, and we just already discussed that. We're going to start moving away from some of this, I think, and just focus on, you know, maybe character plush, you know, stuff like Blue's Clues, things of that nature, because that's where the market is, right? So we still sell a ton of this stuff, but probably could use this space more effectively if we didn't pick it up. So to each his own. There's a lover of a sock monkey, and this guy's coming to his new home. On to the next one. Okay, we're back, and this one was actually right near the other one, so that's good. TY Peace Bear sold on Etsy, and there was something weird about the payment method. It took probably 2 days to process. So this actually sold a couple of days ago. It just took a while for the payment to go through, but it sold for $21, 6+ months. We'll always pick up the TYs just because they are vintage. They're getting harder to find, and there's still a market out there, and we do really well with them. So again, $21, 6+ months on Etsy. On to the next one. Okay, next up is Aeropostale Holiday Teddy Bear. Here he is. He is vintage. vintage. And would I pick it up again? No, because we're moving away from teddy bears. I say that and I'm going to end up giving you an example like the last one, the TYs, that was a teddy bear, but I consider TYs their own animal. So teddy bear sold for $18 on Mercari. Took about 6+ months. So we're gonna be moving away from these guys. They just don't sell as fast, unfortunately. So on to the next one. Okay, so the next one in line was the Baby Shark bundle that sold on Etsy for $52. It was an offer by Nifty. It sold in less than 3 months. And it is actually inside because we were auditing that bin. It usually comes out here in the shed. So by doing that audit, I think it also refreshed Nifty to be able to push an offer. So can't say enough about when you're at this type of scale, you want to make sure you're doing an inventory at least once a year. To be able to refresh and make sure that you have stale listings, and also to be sure that you have the product in question, because it can get obviously mistakes can be made. We're humans, so it's appropriate to do an inventory. So I just wanted to take just a quick moment to say that if you're not doing that and you're at this scale for anything, regardless of what you sell, do an inventory at least once a year. If you're in a hotter state like us, the inventory probably should be done around September, October, when it's a little cooler. Don't sweat to death. It's not worth it. If you're in a colder area, obviously you do it in the summer or spring. So that's just personal opinion and advice from experience. So we're going to actually move on to 93, which was a Gund Mingo Flamingo, sold in 6+ months for $14.58. And let's take a look at what that looks like. Here he is, Mingo Flamingo, and yeah, by Gund. Is the tag number is important. So when you're doing your listings, you want to, if they have a name, put the name. You also want to put their item ID number. It helps someone who is searching for this particular animal to be able to find it quicker, and helps with the search engine optimization. And yeah, put that number in there. On to the next one. Okay, so this next plush sold on Etsy. It's an Old McDonald vintage dog. Apparently there was a line that came out. And it's a Dalmatian, which I'm not sure how a farm dog fits in with a Dalmatian, but sold on Etsy for $15. I did take an offer because, you know, it's not always about money. There's a story tied to this one. Apparently the person had this when they were a child and lost it along the way, and was super excited to find it, but they are on a fixed income. And you know, I'm not sure how true that is, but if it is true, it's our pleasure to be able to unite this fine young pup with that new owner. So we're going to get this out right away, and appreciate that buyer so much. How timely that there's an error, right? So this one is luckily, I think, going to be okay, because I think what happened was this particular plush that I had listed and had in bin 101, it's the same exact doll. I think what happened was it was previously purchased, and for some reason when it was delisted originally, it got relisted. I'm not sure if that, I'm sure that was a human error, probably on my part, and it was replaced into 312. So I think that's how that happened. But luckily we do have the item. It did not sell, and then we couldn't fulfill it. So we'll get there in another clip. But I just wanted to kind of take a moment and say this is why I was talking about inventory earlier. It can catch mistakes that like this. So if this didn't sell and sold, I'm sorry, if this sold and then resold, that's a problem, right? Especially at that price point it sold. They were listed for $141. So that could be a little bit of a hit to your account and also your expectations. So just want to take a moment to say errors do happen. Inventory your product, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the next two are in another area that we normally don't film in, so I'll just recap them here and put the links to the solds. The Bear Factory Gingerbread Puppy, we had about 3 or 4 of those last year. They all sold through except for one, and this one actually sold this Christmas. So the last 3 sold last Christmas. This one sold for $25 on Mercari. It took about 4 months according to this, and that's probably wrong. It's probably a relist. So, or we found another one possibly. So yeah, so link here. And then Kohl's Cares, Disney Finding Nemo and Dory plush. He sold via Nifty, and so did the other one for $20.25, and sold on eBay in about 4 months as well. So Nemo and Dory here, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this one that sold on Mercari for $35, a rare Dakin prehistoric dinosaur. Got a message from the buyer on Mercari saying that this was their husband's childhood plush, and she was so excited about finding it, and she can't wait for us to ship it. Told her it would go out today. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So again, we're not going to be picking this stuff up anymore. So those kinds of stories where you get, this was my childhood plush. Most are usually animals and some sort of like just realistic. Also sometimes dolls and bears, but unfortunately they just don't move fast enough, and we have to be conscious of our resources and time. So but we were able to reunite this fine dinosaur with that person, and hopefully they have a happy holiday, and I'm sure it's going to be a gift. So yeah, so he's off to his new home, and sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the story. Okay, this is the type of stuff that we're going to be continuing to pick up because this sells better and sells faster. This one was a Madame Alexander Pinkalicious. Pinkalicious sells well. This is more of a higher end Pinkalicious. They usually have a Kohl's Cares one that you can't even keep in stock. If you see her in Kohl's Cares and you're like, man, it's Kohl's Cares, I would probably reconsider your choice because they sell and they sell fast. This Pinkalicious sold for $32.99 on eBay in 6+ months. So again, this was a higher end Pinkalicious, so it did take a little bit longer, but the Kohl's Cares sells regularly for us. On to the next one. Okay, this next one was a Florida promo plush, likely picked up at 2017, and it was Matey Mates Octopus. Matey Mates sold for $14 in 6+ months on Poshmark. I'm always torn with these types of things because some of them do sell well. So do your research, I guess, is the narrative on this one. These guys, Kohl's Cares, Storybook plush, give a mouse a cookie, they sell all the time. But anyways, Matey Mates, would I pick it up again? Undecided. Again, do your research. Some do well, some do not do well. This one took about 6+ months. On to the next one. Okay, so this one was a rust brown mare horse with a gray baby foal. Super cute, and likely this was probably bundled together with my wife. This is vintage. It has its swing tag still. And would I pick it up again? Don't think so. Like I said, we're moving away from realistic, so you'll still see them as we pull through the inventory, but probably moving on. This one sold for $14.63 on eBay in 6+ months. And because I say 6+, if you haven't watched previous videos, we switched from Vendoo to Nifty.ai. Link for Nifty. It's a better product. Auto delist. I know that everybody's going to come at me in the comments probably about Vendoo doing the same thing, but I've been like used and abused by Vendoo. The product just did not work for us. I'm not sure if it was partly human error, or partly them, or partly both, or partly like the connection between the platforms. But Nifty is so much better. It sends you emails if there's a connection issue with the actual API, which is the back end of how a software is done. So I am a software engineer, so I will speak from experience that in itself is worth the cost of Nifty. And we made about $150 from this $700 that we made in one day. Of that was from Nifty, so it does pay for itself, even though it's $89.99 for the Pro bundle with all the automation and generative AI. So that's my sales pitch. I'm not sponsored by Nifty, but I believe in the product that much that I keep mentioning it, and I can't tell you enough how that has scaled our business. So can you receive anything if your fist is closed? No. You have to open it up to be able to receive. So give that $89.99 to Nifty, get the product, and receive more back. that's just how it works. On to the next one. Okay, this one sold on Poshmark in 6+ months for $14. It was a offer by Nifty. And here he is, do a tag. So again, we're moving away from realistic, which is kind of ironic because I just pulled a bunch. So here you are. On to the next one. Here is a vintage calico cat that's sold for, let's see, he sold for $35 on Etsy. And let's see if I can find out. Let's see, calico cat sold for $35 Etsy in 3 months. So it didn't take very long. And he shouldn't even be in this plush bin, because this is all like mainstream like characters, Scooby-Doo, stuff like that. So how you got in there, buddy? But you sold. On to the next one. So if you're new here and you made it this far into the video, thank you, and appreciate the like and subscribe and comments. This one is a pillow fort weighted plush cheetah. It is older, about 4 years old, and these sell so quickly. This one sold in 13 days for $33, and this is probably the 3rd or 4th one this week that sold. So if you want to see all those sold videos, previous videos, make sure you check out the playlist for what sold. This one was cheetah. We sold a unicorn, and we also sold a dino. So here he is, little fatty's going off to his new home. On to the next one. Okay, these always do well for us. These are Mo Williams, Gerald, and Piggy from the book story, and we cannot keep these in stock. They sell so well. This one sold for $45 in 17 days on eBay, and yeah, cool scares. So there you go. On to the next one. Okay, for those still hanging on to this video, I'm about to give you a Bluey tip. So this Bluey plush set sold for $70 in 6 days on Poshmark. So why that is because I believe this guy's name is Muffin. He's new at tag. And also this one here, I'm not sure the name, but the yellow dog. So those two are the more rare ones. You find Bingo and Bluey all the time. That's why the price was up there, and that's why it sold so fast. It's harder to find these guys. Always the sidekicks that are hard. So there you go. Okay, these will always sell and always sell fast. Everybody has a brand fascination with the brand Snuggle. This is a Renews It collab. It's that Sherpa material, which is not my favorite, but he is a popular advertising plush. This one sold for $30 in 17 days on Macari. And guess what? We have another one that we haven't listed yet. So we found them both together, so they were a set, and we listed them independently for $30. Okay, so I'm at bin 88. This is a holdover room that we use for podcasting. If you're not following We Don't Give a Flip podcast on YouTube, I'll try to put a link here or in the description maybe. So check us out on the podcast where we talk about all things reselling. And this is an error, I think. Sold for $52, or it was mislabeled, located. So we found a couple errors in this video. Just goes to show you, even if you've been doing this for 3 years, it's still possible. So we'll try to find that guy, and if I find them, I'll be able to put it in the end of this video. Okay, we're at the end of the video, and I did not find those baby sharks. I need to do more research on that. This is that pillow fort dino that I mentioned that sold. We sold another one, believe it or not, and this one sold for $27 in 2 days. So that's all our sales right there. Appreciate you watching this video. And again, we made $700 in a day, and I want to say 148 of those dollars were courtesy of Nifty relisting our stuff. So again, I can't say enough about that. And thank you again for watching. On to the next one. Remember, if you can't be good at it.